there, what's up? In today's video, we are going to see the top personal finance rules that should be known by you. In this video, I've covered only the important fundamentals of personal finance. So if you are interested in knowing or learning more about personal finance, I would give you the details of it at the end of the video so that it might be useful for you. And before getting into the video, for those who don't know who am I'm Vignesh and I've started this channel in 2017, and my intention is to make people aware and provide knowledge on personal finance, risk management and tech. You may ask me, what is personal finance and why do we need it? Personal finance is a term which deals about savings, spendings, paying off the debt and budgeting. So personal finance is very important for managing your income as well as savings. Being financially literate helps you to distinguish a good and bad financial advice, and it helps you to make a savvy decision. Be aware of little expenses. A small leak will sink a great ship. This was quoted by Benjamin Franklin, who is an American writer, inventor, and a polymath. This quote urges us the importance of personal finance, as a wrong expense can lead to a huge complications. Now, let's get into the rule number one, which is none other than the budget using 50, 30 or 20s guideline. This is one of my favorite rules. This rule is very simple and interesting. 50% of your income goes to your needs, 30% of your income goes to your wants, and 20% of your income must be coming under savings. Before getting into the rule, let us start with an example. So let us assume that you are earning 1 lakh per month. This rule facilitates the way that how you must spend your money. Next, you must allocate 20% of your income to the wants. Wants is nothing but the amount you are spending for your leisure and entertainment. It may be your Netflix subscription or the amount you are spending for your shopping on Myntra or Flipkart, or the amount you are spending for going for a movie or making some parties. It compounds for a year, you get 1,20,000. This rule helps you to make a balanced financial decisions. To make it simple, let's see a pie chart. So this pie chart represents the 50, 30 or 20s rule. So you may ask me, hey Vignesh, how do I save the money? So actually there are several ways of saving money. So let's see that in the end of the video. If you are a type of a person who does not spend much money on leisure or holiday, this rule is primarily for you. In this rule, you are allocating 50% of your income for your needs, 40% of your income to savings. So the more the money you save, the more your future is secure, and 10% of your income comes to wants. Now let's move on to the next rule, which is nothing but the 3x emergency fund rule. So the term emergency fund refers to the money which is readily kept during the times of financial distress. There may be some expenses called as uncalled expenses. It may be like loss of a job, or it may be like sudden travel or repairs. During those hard circumstances, the money which you keep, that is the emergency fund which allocates, gives you the financial security. It is always advisable to keep 3 times of your monthly income as the emergency fund. This visual represents the emergency fund which is kept ready to use during the time of financial distress. The next rule which we are going to see is the 8% rule. Before making any long-term investments, you have to check whether the investment gives you a minimum of 8% returns. There is a scheme called Public Provident Fund, which is PPF in short, gives you an assured 7.9 tax-free returns. So if your investments doesn't give at least 8%, then it's not worth of investing in that. The return on investment, ROI in short, is a very important term in personal finance. So according to this term, you have to check whether your investments gives you a good returns or not. Whether you're buying a new electronic gadget or a smartphone, you have to check whether is it worth of investing in that or not. The fourth rule is nothing but pay yourself 10% rule. This rule is a popular rule in personal finance as well as retirement planning literature. This rule is also called as golden rule in personal finance, as it helps to build long-term wealth consistently. Let me tell you an example to make you clearly understand this rule. So you bought a loan from yourself, your 60-year-old self, and you are paying the 10% interest to yourself till when you reach the age of 60. So you have to pay this before you do your monthly expenses. So you maintain the consistency in long-term wealth building. This creates a secured future and makes a cushion for your financial emergencies. The next rule is credit limit 30% rule. This rule is a simple rule which tells to keep your credit card limit at 30%. So, staying within the limit helps you to increase your credit score. If you are a student and planning to study at abroad, the credit score acts as a fundamental role in getting the student's loan, which may help you in the future. So, whenever you buy some food on Swiggy or Zomato or make some small expenses, use your credit card so that you increase your credit score and it will be helpful for your future. But make sure that you pay that immediately before the due date, or else you have to pay the amount with high interest rates. If you actually don't need a credit card, then don't get it. Credit card has a lot of advantages like credit score, and some of the popular banks like HDFC, Axis and ICICI Bank had made a tie-up with several companies. Like Flipkart gives you 5% off on Axis Bank credit cards. And when you use ICICI credit cards, you get some 10% instant discount on Amazon. And Vistara Airlines gives you some privilege points when you book the flight tickets with SBI card. So each companies have tied up with different banks, and you earn certain privileges or you get some instant discounts. There are several advantages as well as disadvantages of using credit card, and you have to use them wisely. According to the statistics provided by the Business Insider India, an average Indian spends 14,500 a month on average, which is 20 times higher than the debit card users. So this depicts that the credit card users spend more than the debit card users, which is 20 times higher than that of the debit card users. Also, online credit card transactions are twice higher than that of the offline card transactions. So this shows how people spend more on credit card. And also, credit card users spend rupees 250 for every 100 rupees spent on debit card for each transaction. So always stay cautious and be aware while using the credit card. The sixth rule is the 3% rental yield rule. When you buy a property or rent out a piece of land, it must at least generate 3% of the purchase cost, and this can be calculated by the formula listed below. The next rule is the 20x life insurance cover rule. If you are buying a life insurance, make sure that the life insurance covers your family's needs even during your absence. If you are in 30s, make sure that the life insurance which you buy is at least 20 times your income or more than that. This makes the finance smooth and stable. The life insurance is very important and it plays a major role in one's life. Now, let's move on to a big concept which is none other than savings. Currently, a quote is popping up in my mind. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you have to work till you die. This is a quote which was stated by Warren Buffett, and he urges the importance of savings and passive income. Actually, there are several ways of saving money. Now let's see the popular ones. So the first popular mode of saving method in India is nothing but fixed deposit. Most people in India prefer this method. Each bank gives you certain interest rates, and generally for the general category, the fixed deposit is around 5 to 7%, and for senior citizens it's above 7%. I took this image from the Hindu newspaper, which represents the bank fixed deposit rates. The bank usually offers from 5% to 7% max for the general category, and it usually provides more interest rates for senior citizens. The next popular method is nothing but the public provident fund, which gives you an assured 8% returns. Since this is handled by the government, it's kind of a risk-free investing. So the next method of saving is the stock market. So usually people prefer stock market for short term, but generally financial advisors does not recommend stock market for the short term. Stock market is considered as the best mode of investment for savings when it is invested for long term. So let me give a gist on how stock market works. So let us assume that you have X money in your hand and you are buying some shares worth the X money from another company. So it's like giving your money to the company for its growth. So whenever the company generates good income or good revenue, the company shares the income with you because you are one of the shareholders. So the returns are based on how much money you invest on the company. So if the company generates very high income and high revenue, you get high returns. But if the company failed to generate good revenue and if the company made some losses, and you have to bear the loss. So this is how basically a stock market works. So it is always advisable to prefer a large cap blue chip company. The next mode of savings is mutual funds. Mutual funds work very similar to the stock market, uh, where you invest in them through SIPs. SIPs are nothing but strategic investment plannings. So you have to invest certain amount, like a monthly basis. It depends upon the scheme which you choose. The major difference between the stock market and mutual fund is, in stock market you are buying a single company, but in mutual funds you are buying certain institutions scheme. So it may be comprised of more than one company. It may so if you are buying some kind of IT schemes, it involves like companies like TCS, Infosys, Wipro, HCL, and it depends upon the mutual funds you choose. So even mutual funds make losses, but before making any investment in stock market or mutual fund, you have to do your own research and you have to analyze whether is it good in investing it or not. You can ask for somebody's advice, but you should never totally depend upon them. So it's always advisable to make your own research before investing in any kind of mutual funds or stock market. The next mode of saving is ETF. ETF is nothing but exchange traded fund. Exchange traded funds also work in the similar manner. The next popular method of savings is gold. You all might have heard about gold investments. So basically, you can invest in golds through gold coins or maybe gold bars, or through jewelry, and it can also be invested digitally. So basically, gold is considered as the safest mode of investment of all times. The next popular mode of savings is real estate. So you all might have heard of real estate, like it can be buying of properties and selling it later, or it may be like buying lands, or it may be like building properties, or maybe renovations. So most of the people in current times prefer real estate for generating more income and revenue. The next rule which we are going to see is the most important rule in this video. Before getting into the rule, I would like to ask you a question. What is the most important skill according to you? Everybody has different answers. According to me, the best skill in the world is learning. Not everybody tends to learn all time. So generally, how do you educate yourself? Actually, there are several ways to educate ourselves in personal finance, and one of the best way to educate ourselves is through reading journals and newspapers. Also, you could educate yourself by talking or communicating with the people who is well aware of the topic. Even reading books helps you to enhance your financial knowledge and literacy. So I may recommend few of my favorite books for improving your financial literacy. The first book which I would like to recommend is the book written by Robert Kiyosaki. It's The Rich Dad and Poor Dad. This story generally starts with a man describing about his two dads. Like one dad is rich and another dad is poor. Like he generally describes how a rich dad plans. He generally differentiates between his rich and poor dad, like how both of them plan their financial plannings. The next book which I would like to recommend is nothing but The Psychology of Money. This book was written by Morgan Housel. Like he clearly depicts the important factors of money and entire things about how it must be saved or how it must be spent. Like it's a kind of an interesting book to read. The Atomic Habits as well as the Ikigai are books which helps you to build your discipline. Building a strong discipline is very important in all kind of finance. So you could buy this book from your nearest store, or you could take it from your nearest library. Generally, buying a single book costs you more. So I would check whether these books are available at a discounted price in online. If there is some kind of good discounts of buying a combo or buying it online, I will provide its link in description so that you may use that and get it at a low price. Now we've reached the end of the video, and thank you so much for watching till the end. Next time, planning to upload financial stuffs that school doesn't teaches you, and stock market series from scratch to pro. So if you have any suggestions, please let me know in the comment sections. And in case if you have any query, please feel free to reach me at my socials. So hope to see you soon shortly at my next video, and have a great day.